Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Mercedes and this is the Frugal Life with Mercedes. So today we are going to talk about how to start a stockpile. So if you are new here, just a little bit, I have always kind of had a stockpile from my very first apartment to now, with laundry detergent and personal care items and food items. I have never had a space where I could like dedicate an entire basement or an entire room to it. In my current apartment, we have a closet right over there where I keep my personal care items that I get from couponing, and I have shown tours of that. So if you are interested in that, go ahead and look at some videos that I have of my coupon stockpile. And in my current apartment also, we have some silver shelves that are under our kitchen island, that we store food and different things like that. And partially that's because we put them on the silver shelves because we live in an apartment, so it is limited space, so you really want to use up all your space. But I've always done like stockpile type things even before I was a couponer. And I don't consider myself a prepper, although I do like to say I like to be prepared, which is essentially what a prepper is. No problems with prepper or anything like that. I just don't make prepping videos really. But I have gotten some questions on like how to start a stockpile, like if you're starting from none. So I'm going to assume that you have things in your house, but you want to elaborate on what you already have. So first and foremost, you have to have some place to store your stockpile. And as I said, I've never had the space to have a whole room or a basement or a garage dedicated to it. So I had a friend who wanted to start like a stockpile with like laundry detergent and things like that. And I had suggested under their kitchen sink. Now this person was a bachelor, so they really didn't have a lot of there wasn't really anything under the kitchen sink. So I was like, okay, right there. That is a space that you can have dedicated to extra deodorants and laundry detergents and things like that. So depending upon the size of your home and the space available, you want to have a place to put it. Now ideally, I wish we all had one room dedicated to all this, but that's not really realistic in most people's situation. So understand that you are going to probably have it spread out. A really great option is under beds. You can get under bed storage containers with lids, slide things under there. You could also, when you go to the grocery store, they have the boxes, the flats as they call them, and the grocery store doesn't care if you take those. And those slide under beds really great. And I understand it's not aesthetic, but we're not going for aesthetic. We're going for cheap and easy for all people to do. So after you have a space or spaces dedicated, then you want to decide what you are going to have a stockpile of. Are you going to have a stockpile of food, personal care items? If you are interested in prepping, there are many videos and channels on YouTube that would be better at this point. Like after you see this video, of course, things that you would want to prep for, because it depends. Like, are you interested in being a prepper, or are you interested in having a stockpile for other reasons? Now, why would somebody have a stockpile? Some people, it's for an apocalypse, some sort of, issue with the government, but it could also be due to financial things. We've talked about that. You could lose your job, your spouse could pass away, a relationship could end. There's a million reasons why somebody would want to have a stockpile. So depending upon what your reasoning is, you'll have to decide what you want to have. Medical supplies, food, personal care, whatever it is. And then you have to kind of set a budget. Now, if you have an unlimited budget, that's great. But if you are more like on a shoestring budget, you can start off small. Every time you go to the grocery store, add one extra can of soup, add one extra this, one extra that. This is where I would suggest that you do couponing and discount shopping. because that's how I have acquired mine. And even if you are not a couponer, I would encourage you when you go to the store to look at the clearance section. Don't just buy crap, buy things that your family actually needs. If, let's say, your favorite pasta sauce is on sale for $1 and you have the means, get a couple extra jars. That is how you start a stockpile. Couple little things at a time. Honestly, it'll build up over time. And again, it depends what kind of budget you're looking at and what your end goal is. But let's say you're on a very small budget, maybe you don't have a lot of space and you don't really know where you're going with this, but you feel like you need to start a stockpile. Like I said, buy one extra item every time you go into the grocery store. Or if you want to put a monetary value on it, let's say you go to the grocery store twice a month, okay? $5 every grocery budget, so every 2 weeks, would be dedicated to extras, or $10, $20, whatever it is, or even just one extra item. And that's basically how you start a stockpile. I know that we see videos where people are like, I spent $2,000 on, look at my, preps, and I'm not making fun of anybody, and that's great for them, but that for most people, that's not going to be realistic, and I do not want anybody to go into debt for a stockpile. And another thing is too, this is just kind of like an added, you want to be rotating through your stock. So nothing of mine expires because we use it before it would expire. So obviously if I bought a can of soup 6 months ago and a can of soup yesterday, I am going to use the can of soup I bought 6 months ago before I would buy the one that I bought yesterday. So you want to be rotating through it. Only buy things that you use, need, and your family likes. If your family hates beans and rice, please do not purchase a bunch of beans and rice. If your family only can use free and clear laundry detergent, you don't need to buy Tide laundry detergent because you're probably never going to use it. Maybe you have to use the free and clear because of allergies or whatever. So I know that seems like common sense, but that's a big thing in the prepping community or just the preparedness. You only want to buy things that you use, like, and are going to need. Now, what I do is a working pantry, and that's why I explained what I bought gets used, because we only purchase items that we actually use on a regular basis. So I'm not gonna buy, canned spinach. Brandon likes spinach, but not canned spinach. I don't like spinach at all, so why would I buy 20 cans of canned spinach? We would never eat that. Now granted, if it was a real life or tragic situation happened, then yes, obviously, but we're not planning for that. We're planning for taking care of ourselves. And you guys know that I was furloughed a while back for a very short amount of time, but it gave me a lot of comfort to know that Brandon and I would be taken care of as far as like food, personal care items, household goods. We literally didn't have to worry about that, and that was a load off of my shoulders, considering I didn't know how long my furlough was going to be. So just remember, guys, whatever your reasoning is, that's cool, but keep it simple. Do you know what I mean? Find a space, figure out why you want to prep. Are you prepping because you think that you should? Is it because people around you are? Only do it if you want to, and if you have reasonings and thoughts behind it, and only buy what you're going to use and what you and your family use and what you guys like. Rotate it so it doesn't go bad. Have dedicated space to it, and remember, you can do it on a budget. And I know that it seems like tedious, like, okay, well, I really only can buy one extra thing every time I go to the store, or only can dedicate X amount of dollars to it. It will build up over time. Okay, guys, so I hope that you found that helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing to my channel, and until next time, bye.